Thank you for joining me on this channel where we may be dazed, but we are not confused. We are going to be doing an awkward elevator silence epiphany reading. So in these readings, we are going to visualize a person or individual that you would be in an elevator with, having a moment of maybe awkward silence. And then we're going to take a look at the types of clarity or epiphanies that you might receive in that moment about that person, and maybe what they may be realizing about you as well. So in each reading, you will have the opportunity to pick the elevator going up or the elevator going down. If you like, you can watch both. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter, or any other types of houses or planets that you would be interested in seeing if it resonates for you. All right, let's get started. Aquarius. If you picked the elevator going up, then the epiphany that you're having about the person with whom you are sharing this awkward elevator silence is that they are coming into a fortuitous time. So things are going in their favor right now. And I feel like it's clear and obvious to everyone around who is witnessing this. So I feel as if this person may have come out of a space where things were not going in their favor, and it's like they've come to an end of a cycle, and you're just recognizing this. And the thing that is sticking out to you about this is that the person came into this when they decided to stop playing small, to kind of think outside of the box a bit, maybe step out of line a bit and kind of come into the energy of who they are when they don't care what other people think about who they are. That's really what I'm seeing. I see that, you're recognizing that this person has really settled in to the energy of just, allowing themselves to just invite serendipity. And I say this because I got two different cards in two different decks that both talk about serendipity. The first is speaking to like a unicorn energy. And so what you're seeing this person as doing is just almost being kind of fantastical in the way in which they are, allowing themselves to see themselves and see the types of actions that they take in their environment. So maybe for somebody else, they might look at it and say, okay, that's unrealistic, or that's going to backfire, or that's not going to work. Or maybe they're even actually saying, I could never do that because if I did, then this, and this would happen. But it's like this person took a risk. They're taking a risk to, go outside of an established norm in order to attain or achieve something that they've never had before, that maybe even generationally or societally, culturally, have been off limits to them. All right. This person could have also been the type of person who kind of played by the book. They kind of did things according to an established way of doing things. And this is not to say, just for clarification, that this person has lost their sense of morality, or they don't follow the law, or they're just doing whatever they want and they don't care. I don't feel like it's that. This isn't speaking to someone who has lost their sense of integrity and they're just going to go for whatever they want and they don't care the consequences or how it impacts others. This is speaking more to established cultural norms that may not actually serve the person. So this would be like conditioned beliefs about what you're capable of doing. These type of people don't do this, or this type of person only does this, or nobody's ever done this before. Those types of beliefs and ideals are the things that this person is kind of going against the grain with in order to see this turnaround in their fortune. It's basically, it's their season, and you can tell. So this person, you recognize, has a lot of, new prospects on the horizon. So there might be new opportunities that this person is coming into, and they're just coming into their time, maybe after a time of not being in that energy. So the affirmation that you want this person to kind of lean into, and that you wish that they could incorporate more, is I will guide. All right, so let's read the affirmation for that. It says, walking in faith, I shine my light and guide those who follow me with tenderness and support. So integrating that affirmation into this reading, I'm picking up that you kind of hope that this person will share the recipe to their secret sauce when they get done cooking, because you definitely would like to try it. I think that's what it is. You're hoping that this person will not forget about the people who were around them during different times, and that they'll be willing to share some of what it is that they did. And maybe, not necessarily give a blueprint for how to do it, because the energy of this person is such that, you couldn't duplicate it. This is specific to this person. It's more so that you're hoping that this person will be a support for other people who want to step out of their personal box, because it's different for everybody, and be a support and a guide for allowing people to embrace their inner unicorn and find those things that they want to do, those dreams that they thought that maybe they couldn't make a reality, not because they're just so outrageous and fantastical, but more so because they don't believe in themselves, and they don't believe that they either deserve to have that, or they're more concerned about, maintaining a status quo that may not be serving them. All right. So let's take a look at the person who may be sharing the elevator with you and see what type of epiphanies that they may be having as well. All right. So the person with whom you are sharing this awkward elevator silence, the epiphany that they're having, possibly about you, is that you are in the space of kind of going out into the world to pursue a passion, to be all that you can be, and most importantly, be who it is that you are meant to be. Possibly after a period of feeling stuck in one place and needing to kind of conform to a certain expectation in order to fit a space that was not a proper fit for you. So with this tribe card in reverse, like, this person saw you as playing small in order to gain acceptance into a group that was not really your tribe. And so in doing so, you were able to maintain your access and your, you had your card of admission, but you weren't actually one of them. And it hindered you because you weren't able to act out, take action, do things that would bring you into a state of fulfillment, do things that would bring you joy and happiness, because for whatever reason, it wasn't acceptable here, and you just couldn't be that. And I feel like it may have had you in a place of depression, like you were really, really feeling down about it. And this energy of deciding that you're just going to go out into the world and find your tribe is literally like you turning your back on this group, on this environment, and deciding to, go out and find the people that are in alignment with you by taking action and actually just doing what it is that you do and seeing who comes to you. as opposed to going to the people and doing whatever they do to fit in. So you've decided that you're going to lead with your actions. And that's what this person is recognizing. They're recognizing that you were really down before, like it was depressing you, maybe emotionally or psychologically, but also like it was keeping you down, like pressing you down physically, and also like in your actions, like you just weren't able to do certain things. I feel like this person may have just kind of watched you but didn't want to say anything about it, because, you know, it's your life, and a lot of times it's not welcome when people want to give their 2 cents about what people are doing, you know, unless someone asks you, and, you know, they weren't asked. So that's something that they notice, but they're seeing you on this uptick and moving into this space of healing. I feel like maybe you even received some good news about a group or an environment that aligns with the things that you're into or the kind of spaces that you want to be in. And so you have a lot of hope that, you know, there are others like you. And so therefore, there's no reason to force yourself into a space, you know, out of a lack of social connection, you know, which is important for us as humans, you know. And so that's what they're seeing. And the affirmation that they want for you is for you to know that you are chosen. They want you to feel as if you are chosen. So it says, I will not fear who I am. I was chosen to be free, to fly above and beyond what this world offers me and says of me. I will not fear who I am called to be. I choose to love and forgive those in my path today and every day. So this person sees you as, you know, making this powerful decision to kind of turn your back on people, situations, environments that hold you down and that just aren't authentic to who you are or who you would imagine yourself to be. And they want you to, as you're doing this, be able to go into a space of also being forgiving of the people who didn't show up for you in the ways in which you may have needed or really wanted them to. They want you to be able to look at it maybe as a learning experience that taught you how to appreciate yourself and the value of all the things that make you who you are, and why you should never downplay that. No matter what, no matter who's around, no matter, you know, what kind of people you're trying to impress, like you just really should value yourself enough to be who you are, lead with who you are, and then allow all of the particulars about what type of environment or people that you attract to be worked out through that. All right. So that's what I have for the elevator going up. If this is your last video, then maybe I'll see you in the future. If not, then I may see you on the next video, which will be the elevator going down. Bye-bye. All right, Aquarius. If you pick the elevator going down, then the epiphany that you are having about the person with whom you are sharing this awkward elevator silence is that this person has been working hard to create the type of life and experiences that they feel will bring them the type of happiness and peace that they're looking for in their life. So I feel like you see this person as really mastering their ability to work with a lot of their resources around them, disciplining themselves, trying to make things happen. But I feel like you're aware that underneath all of this, the person has this fear that things are not going to work out, or that no matter what they do, there's always this little caveat where the things just don't pan out. It's like this little dark cloud just hanging just above the horizon. So no matter how many unicorns and rainbows are flying in the sky, somewhere out in the distance, when that person gets there, it's going to be this gloomy, dark, thunderstorm, rain, all of that, mud everywhere as soon as they get there. And I feel like you are recognizing that this person is seeing this for themselves, and they are learning how to let go of the fear that, their butterflies are going to turn into moths and just, fly away. Like it's not the fear that it's not going to be what they really want, that they're going to put all this effort into trying to make something happen, working really, really hard to follow all of the process and the steps and figure out how other people are doing it, do it themselves, and find out that it's not going to work for them, because there just seems to always be some kind of ill thing that occurs to kind of come wash it away. So this person you're recognizing is learning how to let go of the expectation of that, because there may have been just maybe starting like early in life for this person, this sense of feeling as if, everyone else gets things except for them. But you're also recognizing that the things that are coming out for this person, the things that do work out and that do pan out, are usually things that, this person couldn't have really done for themselves. It's like unearned and unexpected grace and blessings that just, they just seem like they just come from divine timing or some higher power or something beyond what they could have done for themselves. It's like things just pan out and that's what they get. And when that happens, then it works out. But it's like when the person puts a lot of effort into trying to make something happen, it seems like it doesn't. And I feel like you are realizing that the reason that could be behind this is that the person doesn't believe that they actually deserve to have good things, or they just have this inherent belief that something bad has to happen if they get something, which could just be rooted, like we said, in that belief that they shouldn't have good things happen to them. But when they do happen and the person doesn't do it, and it's just some, act of fate or divine blessing, then this kind of energy doesn't come up. So I feel like what you want for this person to feel, affirmation-wise, is confident. All right, so let's read what that affirmation is. It says, I am not afraid to be who I am destined to be. I will live this day as if it were my last, boldly and confidently in my glow. So I feel like that really ties up a lot of what was trying to be said for this epiphany, is that, you want this person to feel happy and feel as if they could come into their own power and self-actualize without the fear that, something's going to come through and like they're going to be punished for it. It's almost like the sense of feeling as if they'll be punished for actually being who it is that they want to be and being successful at it. And like I said, that could tie back to some type of, early life experience that's playing into that. But if this person were confident enough to, kind of live their life as if, it were their last, and they were bold and they just went for it and didn't really care, how long it lasted for, I feel like you would see this person as being a little bit more rooted in themselves, and they could actually enjoy the blessings that you're able to see them receiving, but that you're realizing that they may not be able to see that way because of this kind of thinking process that they do have. All right. So let's take a look at the epiphany that the other person may be having about you. All right. So the person with whom you are having this awkward elevator silence, what they may be having an epiphany about concerning you is that there is something that is kind of perplexing you. And it's because you don't have all the information that you need. This person could possibly have pieces of this information that you're needing, but they may not feel comfortable sharing it with you. But that may not be for everybody. I'm picking up that it's just that they are recognizing that there are bits of information that you're missing that you want to have. And because you're not getting like the whole story about something, it's got you in this weird state of like overthinking something. And you're in almost like an analysis paralysis, because if you don't have the full picture, and you could very well be a person that is just like that. Like you need to have all the pieces of the puzzle, all the information that you can get before you can make an informed decision based upon what the facts are. But in some situations, you're not able to get that, and you're still required to make decisions about something. And they just see you as being in a very stuck place because you're trying to decide if you should go left or right, up or down. And because you don't have this, it's got you in a weird space. But I feel like this person is recognizing the need, either the need for you to use your intuition, or that you're starting to lean more towards trying to use your intuition to kind of figure out what you should do. Because in situations where you don't get a very clear picture of what's going on, and you have this kind of, this level of missing information, and I feel like it's like a whole story. There's a whole story going on, and it may not even necessarily be one specific thing that you're trying to make a decision about. It could be like an overarching theme over a lot of different things that you're doing, that because you don't have the information about this thing, it's got you in a space of not being able to move forward into other situations unless you have every single piece of detail, because of this one situation in which you didn't get all the information, and you may have suffered some sort of loss as a result of it, or some sort of backlash as a result of that. And so this person is seeing you as someone who is needing to use your intuition moving forward to kind of fill in the gaps of the information that you don't have. So even if you're not able to, or like I said, they probably maybe see you as doing this now. They're starting to recognize that you do this. So it's like when you don't have all the information on something, you just kind of fill in the gaps with what you think it might be. Even if it's not 100% correct, it's just enough to help you make a decision that you feel comfortable with. So that you can be at peace with the direction in which you're going and the moves that you choose to make with that limited amount of information that you're getting. So you could be, I feel like maybe one of the things that you do to help yourself is like maybe some sort of like music meditations, because it helps you just to kind of process things more clearly. So maybe this person is recognizing that you got into that more, and they think that might be a part of, you know, this process for you. Maybe that's part of the reason why. Maybe you even had a conversation with this person, and so they're able to, you know, put two and two together and recognize, well, maybe that's why they're getting into this or being more prone to rely upon their intuition across the board. So in a way, it's kind of a positive thing. It's like something that could be very negative, where you didn't get some very valuable information. It forced you, you know, because of this cycle of overthinking that you went into, and, you know, not being able to make clear decisions that you felt comfortable with because you didn't have all the information. You know, this became a positive for you because it forced you to, you know, kind of learn about your ability to use your intuition to make decisions that resonate and feel good within your body. Okay. So the affirmation that this person has for you, that they would like for you to incorporate right now, is I will rejoice. So let's take a look at the affirmation for that. Okay. It says, I will shout and make music filled with thanksgiving and joy in what this day has brought and what miracles have taken place. All right. So I feel like, you know, with this affirmation, maybe this person is recognizing that this phase of like going through like severe analysis paralysis, and then having to kind of lean more towards your intuition to help you kind of overcome that, might be kind of stealing your joy, because you can't take things at face value or just kind of be in the moment, because you're having to look in between the lines to try to figure out what's going on that you don't know about. So their hope for you is that you'll be able to almost sing like a joyful song. And I feel like, going back to like this music meditation that we were talking about before, it's like singing the song of your soul, like being able to not just be or just to exist, but to like allow your heart to sing. And that only comes from being able to be present in the moment and really be in a state of gratitude for everything that's happening, and being able to appreciate the miracles and the beauty and the wonderful things that are happening. You know, it's very difficult to do that when you're in a state of looking out for negative. I'm also picking up that this could also be a form of trauma as well. Like if you go through a traumatic situation, then you're prone to always kind of be on the lookout for traumatic situations, because you learned in a very traumatic way that not doing so is a deep harm to yourself. And so this person really just wants you to be able to be present in the moment and see the beauty of the day without having to kind of, you know, look over your shoulder and look between the lines to try to find evidence of a harm. All right. So, all right, that is what I have for Aquarius on the elevator going down. If this is your last video, then I may hopefully see you in the future. If not, then I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.